Back with you now at 9:22, continuing our conversation with the folks from Epic Charter Schools, an online mostly school, but here in Oklahoma City. We have teacher Christy Rich and Assistant Superintendent Bart Banfield. We had a lot of viewer questions chime in. Want to know, how are you able to pay your teachers on average? About $61,000. Your highest paid teacher around $92,000. That's a lot of money. Marcia, though, she says, when you decided to enter this career field, you knew the investment was about the children. When did it turn to money? I thought this was a great question. Why does it need to be about money?
I don't think it needs to be about money. Like I said earlier, when I taught in a brick and mortar, I was putting in 12-hour days, but I got paid the same as the teacher next door who showed up at 8 o'clock and left at 2:45. In every model, every type of education model there is, there's going to be those that are really passionate about making sure those students get what they need, and those that aren't putting in the extra effort. But the difference is, at Epic Charter Schools, is that I have a potential. It is not a guarantee that teachers will make more than their base salary. It is an opportunity that if I work more and I'm putting forth that extra effort, that I have the potential to make more. So it's not about money. It's just that when I was in a brick and mortar, my students won. It was a win for them that they were succeeding because of my efforts. But at Epic, I win too.
So it's a win-win. Would you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think our goal is very simple. We're interested in creating individual success for students and then satisfying the families that we serve.
I will also chime in, and I wouldn't say it's about money, but to answer Marcia's question as well, I've talked to teachers who are leaving the state just because they can't provide for their own families. They felt called to this field, but they can't make ends meet, you know, so it is a little bit about the money in that sense. What is the base salary, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind. It's $1,000 per student that you serve, and that's one of the beauties of this model, is that the funding follows the child, and so it's $1,000 per student, and then you have the opportunity to earn an additional $1,000 potential for each student that you serve.
Okay. Our next question, this one comes from Angelica. We asked, you know, chime in, what questions do you have, what comments? She said they can pay their teachers more because it's a virtual school. You only need one teacher for hundreds of kids.
Yeah.
What would you say to Angelica there?
I would say that she's misinformed.
Okay.
I think that we really don't have any teachers serving more. I think Christy probably serves as many students, and she's right around 50. And most of our teachers are around 30 to 35 on average. We have some teachers that request to serve fewer students because they want to be part-time or because they have family obligations. We always honor those requests. And so I would just say that although we are considered a virtual school, we're actually a blended school. Our teachers will actually go out and serve students on location. And so, you know, it is something that performance pay is something that is new. We understand that, but at the same time, we're very proud of it. And we feel like teachers should be both recognized and rewarded for their excellence.
It's a different concept, and I think that's something, that's why we had so many comments. People are working to understand it. But if I hear I'll get $1,000 for every student, I want 200 students. You know, is that something you say absolutely not?
Correct. We would never allow that. Yeah, we would never allow that to happen. Teachers have to demonstrate excellence and the ability to drive student achievement. And over time, they're able to move their cap up. And we respect that, but obviously it's on a year-to-year basis. And if they're unable to provide quantifiable evidence that they can generate student achievement, then we begin to lower that cap down. But I would say that the average teacher, when it's all said and done at Epic Charter Schools, typically has around 32 students.
So that's a base pay of $32,000, and if they don't get the bonuses, then that's a $32,000 salary.
Exactly.
Essentially. This question from Jonathan: just because you perform a public service does not mean you are entitled to raises. I don't see how being a teacher is any different than being a soldier or a doctor. Do you feel you're entitled to raises?
Honestly, we don't get raises. Our base salary as Bart said, is our base salary. Even though I have more students than an entry-year teacher, I earn the right to have more students because of performance with my students year after year. When I started with Epic Charter Schools, I had 25 6 years ago. I have 51 now, but that's only because I've proven over time that I can handle a little bit more. And if ever I'm not doing well, they'll pay me back.
Sure.
So I don't get a raise. I still get $1,000 per student and a potential of $1,000 per student merit pay, the same as an entry-year teacher.
Sure. And the teacher who's making more than $90,000, does she have 90 students?
No, she doesn't. Our special education teachers earn a higher base salary. It's $1,500 per student.
Okay.
And the reason behind that is because we understand that there is a compliance aspect, obviously
Sure.
serving students with disabilities, which requires meetings. It also requires additional paperwork. And so they have a $1,500 bonus. Base salary.
Yes.
Correct.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us and shedding some light on this. We had a lot of questions and a lot of interest because it is a different, just really a different mindset at how to tackle education. So we certainly appreciate the time, both of you coming on with Epic Charter School. KOCO 5 News continues straight ahead.